Hello to anyone who's out there watching. This video will be a quick little informative review and reaction to the newly released Spyderco Sage 5. The one that's in front of me is Collector's Club number 90. So you can see right here. I am not that collector. I was fortunate enough to make the purchase from that person immediately upon them receiving it. And I'm glad I did, because it looks like the first initial run sold out pretty quickly in a number of places, as it should, because quick one-line review of this knife is that it's fantastic and it's a huge upgrade over the Sage 3. I'll get into that in just a minute or two, but first just want to go over what the knife's all about. If you are not aware, the Spyderco Sage series is a series of 5 knives now. This is number 5. 5 knives that are made with the same design, so the same blade shape and same handle shape. And the one real difference in each knife is that the locking mechanism is different. So this one, the Sage 5, features the compression lock, which was made popular on the Paramilitary 2 and is used in a couple other Spyderco knives. You can see the way that it swings and closes really nicely. The Sage 4 had a lockback. The Sage 3 is still in production and has the bolt action lock. The Sage 2 has a frame lock, and the Sage 1 has the Michael Walker liner lock. And the 1 and 2 are still in production as well. I think the only one that is discontinued is the Sage 4. S30V blade steel on here, made in Taiwan, just like all the other Sages. And the handle scales here are G10 with a carbon fiber laminate. And I'm going to move this mid-ear guide out of the way. All right. Other specs. We have about 3 inches of blade length here and a 2.64 inches of cutting edge. This knife is listed in that mid-ear guide as weighing 3.2 ounces, but it's actually 3.12 on my scale. So very light for the size, 3.11, 3.12. All right, so get that out of the way as well. And go back to the knife. Opens really quickly. It's very smooth. Lockup is fantastic. And yeah, you can see how nicely it swings down without losing lockup. The blade centering is perfect here. Absolutely perfect. So no problems there. I'm going to try to focus right now on the scales. And you can actually see really well right now where the carbon fiber line ends and the G10 begins. You know, at the curvature of that scale. That's a really good look at it. What I will say is, when you're looking at it with the naked eye, it's not nearly so glaring, but it is definitely very evident here. You know, but when you rotate the knife, you know, it's only at that one angle that it's really that evident. When you rotate the knife, it sort of blends in a whole lot better. They did a very good job. A very good job. I used to own the Sage 3. I sold it in anticipation for getting this, because my one qualm with the Sage 3 was I did not like that the construction was closed at the top. And I think that was necessary for the bolt action lock. But I didn't really love that. I wanted to see an open flow through construction, and when they announced the Sage 5 would have the compression lock and an open construction, I decided to sell my Sage 3 and jumped all over this knife the second I could. And I'm very glad that I did. You can also see inside that the liners there are milled pretty nicely. So that cuts some weight out. The one other improvement that is actually a pretty important improvement over the Sage 3 is just the quality of the carbon fiber here. So the carbon fiber laminate scales on the Sage 3 were very smooth, and they didn't provide a lot of texture, and they looked nice, but you know, they didn't do much in terms of actual ergonomics. And these carbon fiber, I won't even say scales, but the carbon fiber peel ply, whatever you want to call it, is really nicely functional. It's grippy. It looks better. Has a lot more texture to it. I'm trying to get as good of a focus on it as I can. And yeah, it's a much improved quality, I think, over the Sage 3, at least for my taste. If you're looking for a functional knife and one that will carry better, this is the one. If you're looking for one that's a little more shiny, the Sage 3 is just a little more polished. And that's why it was so smooth. This one, really no complaints about it all. The one thing that I will say is that when I got it, it was very, very tight. The pivots were tightened, I think, a little too tight, and it didn't swing the way it is right now. I was able to loosen them, not lose any of the great lockup that it had, and then with a little bit of lubrication, and you can actually see some of the oil sitting on the blade there. A little bit of lubrication, though, we got a really smooth action, and so that should be no issue. All in all, this, I think, is a fantastic new knife from Spyderco. I highly recommend it. From what I've seen online, the price point is actually going to be cheaper than the Sage 3. So if you're looking to buy one or the other, I don't think you can really go wrong, but I would recommend going this route, without a doubt. Without a doubt, get one as soon as you can. So thanks for watching. Any questions, comments, let me know. Be more than happy to help out. But again, thank you for your time and take care.